Happy December 1st, everyone. Welcome to Friday morning meditation, Friday morning Dharma. Let's go ahead and settle into a comfortable meditation posture. Please take care to ensure that your spine is straight and relaxed. And then, using whichever method you find most effective, please allow both your physical body and your mind to start to settle and to rest, to become quiet and still. Complete liberation from all conceptual extremes is the supreme monarch of views. Boundless vastness is the supreme monarch of meditations. Being directionless and utterly impartial is the supreme monarch of conduct. Self-liberation beyond expectation or hope is the supreme result or fruition. And with these words from Mahasiddha Tilopa, let's go ahead and settle into meditation on the inner body. Please be the silent observer of sensations that may start in your hands and your feet in the form of a tingling, perhaps a lightness, perhaps a heaviness, perhaps a pulsation. No analysis is necessary. There's nothing to figure out. Just be the silent observer of sensations within your own body mountain. in the realm of stillness. There is no more compelling, no more inspiring example than the mountain in wintertime. Year after year, century after century, the mountain simply observes silently. Snow may fall on the mountain, accumulate, and then disappear. A nearby river may rise and then recede. Pine cones may appear on the branches of a nearby tree, fall to the ground, and then start to decompose. The mountain simply observes silently. No praise, no blame, no hope, no fear, no speculation, no expectation, resting in still Zen consciousness. Be like a mountain as you silently observe sensations within your own body mountain. Please gently redirect your awareness. Become aware again of this entity we've decided to label physical body, and allow your breathing to become less shallow. Taking deeper and deeper breaths, become aware again of the garments of clothing resting on the surface of physical body. Become aware again of your surroundings inside the room that you're occupying. Become aware again of the world that exists outside of the room that you're occupying. Become aware again of nearby mountains, of nearby continents, of nearby planets, of nearby solar systems. We dedicate all of the merit from this morning's meditation and Dharma talk to world peace. May all beings without exception enjoy an abundance of pure air and water, delicious, nutritious food, safe, warm, dry, reliable, affordable shelter, and comfortable, functional, attractive clothing. And with everyone's basic needs met, may we all enter and progress on wisdom paths that lead to complete and permanent liberation from all forms of suffering. Completely fill up your belly and lungs with air, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your meditation to an end. Welcome back, everyone. So I was having a conversation with a longtime friend of mine here at Lotus Center, and we were talking about meditation. And she was telling me about a new meditation program that she had started. My friend she's a mature woman, and been meditating and trying to meditate for a long time. And she was enthused about this new program because, despite years of trying, she hadn't been able to maintain a consistent meditation practice. It had kind of gone in fits and starts, and she would be discouraged at different points and drop the practice, and then be discouraged that she dropped the practice and try again. And this is an experience that if we stay with meditation long enough, we're gonna run into this. So I thought it might be helpful to share a couple of stories with you, stories that you might have already heard in these classes previously. But one has to do with a man named Alan Spraggins. You locally here in Silver City in the art world may know him. Alan and his wife, Alan is deceased, by the way, but back in the day, he and his wife ran a very beautiful art gallery. Those of you Silver City and Seedboat Art Gallery over on Yankee Street. They owned and operated that. And I had come to know Alan Spraggins just kind of indirectly. He was an acquaintance at best and seemed like a really nice guy. And we exchanged pleasantries and chit-chatted from time to time, but I never really got to know him well. And one afternoon they were having an art opening over at Seaboat Gallery. And, we were doing what people do at art openings, sit around and, having snacks and drinking beverages and chatting. And so I had the good fortune of talking with Alan and come to find out that he was a long time well, actually, I knew that he was a meditator. I knew he was a Buddhist meditator, but through standing there and having some time to talk with him at the art opening, I came to find out that he was one of the original students of Chogyam Trungpa. And for those of you who don't know that name, Chogyam Trungpa is he's deceased also, he's transitioned, a legendary meditation teacher, author, and scholar. He founded Naropa University in Boulder, wrote several books, one of the first Tibetans to come to the West and introduce meditation and Buddhist doctrine. Just an amazing, what is her name? Some of you may know the name Pema Chodron. Pema Chodron was one of the original students of Chogyam Trungpa. Come to find out that Alan Spraggins was one of the original students. So that means like one of 10 or 12 students, the first ones. And it also means that he'd been practicing for like 40, 45 years. And we were talking at the art opening and kind of sharing, experiences with meditation practice and, sharing challenges that we have with meditation practice. And Alan said to me, he said, to this day, I have to go from the bed directly to the cushion. He said, I can't have coffee. He said, I can't go check my email. Maybe I'll allow myself to go to the bathroom, but I have to go straight from the bed to the cushion. Otherwise, I'll get distracted and I won't do practice that day. Life happens and things come up and we, get drawn into different, distracting activities. And all of a sudden, half the day is gone and we realize, oh my gosh, I didn't meditate this morning. And now the day's kind of gotten away from me. So I guess I won't meditate. And just a couple of takeaways. I shared this story with my friend, Deborah, who was, talking about the new program that she entered. A couple of takeaways from the Alan Spraggins story for me. And by the way, this meditation room at Lotus Center is named after Alan Spraggins. One was that after 40, 45 years of practice, he still had to apply effort and still applied effort and discipline to getting himself to the cushion to meditate. And a takeaway for me is that if it takes someone like that sort of discipline, then I can go a little bit easier on myself when sometimes I don't feel tremendously inspired to meditate. And hopefully that can be a takeaway for you too. Another takeaway from that story is this bit about going straight from the bed to the cushion, like not allowing anything to deter him from being distracted and not being able to do his practice that morning. And in my experience, that's a beneficial thing to do for me too, is that I'm not going to allow anything to interrupt or to preclude me from meditating. Nothing. I may need to have a doctor's appointment and the Then the doctor says, oh, we can get you in at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'm like, nope, sorry, that's meditation time. What else do you have? Inviting will classes here in Silver City, folks, Western Institute of Lifelong Learning, Continuing Education. Oh, there's this great series that on, the hippie film era or whatever it might be. And nope, not, although I would love to take it, I can't, because that's when I meditate at that time. Just like, you guys, please don't let anything take you away from your practice. Maybe if you have young kids at home that need to go to the hospital, maybe that could be an exception. I'm being playful, of course. You can come up with your own exceptions, of course. But really I guess what I'm appealing to us is for us to be protective and guard our meditation practice zealously and the time that we use to practice. Another story that you might remember me telling is the woman who I see from time to time, been meditating for a long time. She basically does what I just suggested to you, and that is she told her family, this is the time when I meditate, once in the morning, once in the afternoon. Don't interrupt me for anything, nothing, if someone has died, don't interrupt me. If they're in the process of dying, you can interrupt me, but that's the only reason. That's the only reason. And I just am inspired by that zealous protection. And I think there's a valuable lesson to be learned from that, and maybe valuable application to our own practice. The last thing that I'd like to share with you before we go is has to do with becoming discouraged with our meditation practice. Some of you have been practicing and trying to maintain a consistent meditation practice for 3 years at least. That's when we started doing these Monday, Friday classes. Some maybe before that, and don't feel like you're getting a lot of progress from meditation. And that can be discouraging. I get it. I went through 8 or 9 years of practice. I've shared before, 8 or 9 years of meditation practice before I realized a fundamental mistake I was making, and then changed it and finally started to get some traction. But it was discouraging to keep sitting over and over and not feeling like I was making any practice. And I want to submit to you for your consideration that it may be that there is more virtue in meditating and staying with it, despite the fact that you're not seeing any results, than there is virtue in having meditation come easy to you and just being a cakewalk. Every time you sit down, you have a beautiful, perfect practice characterized by single-pointed meditative equipoise. I don't know about you guys, but where I was growing up, they had like bicycle fairs, right? They had bicycle fairs, and they would have like, for kids, of course, and like little skill tests, riding the bike through cones and stuff like this. And they had a section where they would teach kids how to ride bikes. And there's oftentimes there's the kid who gets on there and like takes to it like a fish to water, just takes a couple of minutes of instruction, and next thing you know, he's zipping around the parking lot, just great on his bike. And then there's the other little kid, and the the event that I witnessed, it was a little girl who, it didn't come easily, and she kept trying, and it wasn't going well, but she kept coming back to it despite her not being able to get the bike going on its own. she kept trying and she kept coming back and wouldn't give up. And, you know, I had a lot of appreciation for her and a lot of love for her, tenderness for her. And there was a part of me that respected her trying despite not being able to get it, as opposed to the other little kid who was zipping around like a Tour de France rider. Um, and maybe we can hold that same level of tenderness for ourselves when we're not taking to it as quickly as we think we should or as quickly as we'd like to. And just know that there's probably more virtue, more merit in staying with it despite us not picking it up terribly quickly than there would just, becoming a Naropa in our first 6 months of trying to learn how to meditate. So just wanted to offer some thoughts about that, about meditation for you. I hope they're helpful, and I hope you have a beautiful weekend.
Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Thank you. See you Monday.
Okay. See
Thanks,
you.
Joe.
Thank you, Jeff.
Bye, you guys. Bye, Marilee.